Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. It's been a little hectic for me, but I got a lot of stuff done. And, well, as you, as most of you probably saw, the butterfly quilt is finally done. So, yeah, I did get a lot of stuff done. Ooh, sorry. I'll clean off my glasses here. And I literally just got home like 5 minutes ago, 5 or 10 minutes ago, and literally ran here to just get this live started because I didn't want to skip out tonight. So let's do our usual shout outs here. Let's see who is in tonight. Hello, Miss Kim. How are you? Glad you made it. Hi, Linda. Hello, Gloria. Judy Hebert is here. Hello, Judy. We got Jackie here. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Misty. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh, okay. Hello, Miss Barbara Webster. And let's see, we got Christy Smith. Hello, Christy. And Shelly Van Slyke. Hi. Hello, hello. Some new people in tonight. Okay, that's great. Hi, Judy. I keep spelling it the way out, but it comes. Oh, sorry. She's talking to Kim. Hi, Jeannie. Okay, so as people come in, we'll say hello to them. All right, so what am I up to tonight? Well, first of all, some housekeeping notices. This Saturday, which is November 1st, that is the next Zoom call. And so I will be sending out the email reminder tomorrow, or maybe later tonight, which means most of you will probably read it tomorrow. It'll be November 1st, the day after Halloween. Go figure that. So Saturday, the next Zoom call, if you want in, or if you want to join us on that Zoom, you can send me an email at treasureheartcreations@gmail.com. Let me put it up there. And we'll send you the information for that. Barbara, I don't have it right now. It's actually taken down. So you can look at it on the Facebook pages if you're part of Tiffany's Quilting Life Facebook group, or if you're part of the Treasure Heart Creations Facebook group. The thing is, the quilt is so humongous that I can't fit it on camera, so you won't be able to see the whole thing. When I took the picture that is posted on Facebook, I was standing all the way on the other side of the room. So for me to show it here, you're not gonna see the whole entire quilt. You only see part of it. Let's see. Okay, so again, Zoom call coming up on Saturday. The other project that I am working on, and a lot of people have expressed that they want to participate in this, it's a project that I'm calling Mom's Quilt, and I've talked about it a little bit before, and I'm trying to kind of create a set of instructions for people to follow so that, because of the logistics of everything, I kind of need to get a video out there to have specific instructions for people who want to participate in it, that they can follow these set of instructions so that they can create some of the pieces or part of the quilt if they want to participate in it. So more information coming up on that very, very soon because, well, if I want to get the quilt done by this December, I need to get it out now. Yeah. Wish I could do Zoom, but we don't have unlimited data. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. Yeah, we have fun doing on Zoom. Let me tell you, it's a different experience when you're sewing with other quilters. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Teresa. Hello, Pearl. Still 80 degrees in Phoenix. Really? It's dipping down to like maybe the mid 70s here in Vegas. So thank goodness, because I was melting in that summer heat. Okay. Sorry, just kind of checking my little written notes here. I think that's all the housekeeping things that I need to do. So what am I working on tonight? So the quilt that's behind me, this is actually the quilt. I did this a couple years ago, and it's totally made out of scraps. Well, not total. Well, yeah, I guess you could say totally made out of scraps. But it's primarily made out of crumb squares. So each of these squares are 4.5 inches, and they're just fabric crumbs that got sewn together. And I got a stash of them that I need to get rid of. So I figure, well, let's do this quilt, but we'll do it in a different colorway, or we'll do it a little differently this time. So this is actually the quilt block this is the block that makes up this quilt behind me. The reason why it might look slightly different, well, number one, these parts here were done in the black, the black, and the star legs were the purple. But the quilt that's hanging behind me is also set on point. This time around, I'm just going to see what happens if I just put it like a regular grid, not on point. So, sorry, let me switch it back. So the block is actually right here. I don't know if, yeah, it's right here. And so this big giant square that you see right here, that's actually that is actually the secondary pattern. Sorry. So this giant crumb square that you see here is a secondary pattern that kind of came together when all of the blocks got sewn together. So I hope I'm making sense. So in order to create this block, I did have to use a particular ruler, where did I put the ruler now? I was just working on it last night. Huh. Why is it that every time I have something that I need to work on, I can never find it? Where is the ruler? Where is the ruler? Didn't I just have it on here? I thought I did. Huh. Hang on, sorry. Where in the world did I put that ruler? I'm a little bit disorganized because kind of taking out a lot of craft stuff and taking an inventory. What did I just do with it? I just had it. I just had the ruler. I could have sworn I just had it here, and I just misplaced it. What did I do with it? Whoops. Okay. Scratch that then. I guess we'll do something different. Because now, I just had the ruler in my hand. And what did I do with it? I put it down somewhere. Oh well. Huh. Interesting. Where did I put the ruler? Did I put it up here somewhere? Ruler, oh ruler, where are you, ruler? Oh, shucky darn. Okay. Well, and of course, as soon as I turn off the cameras, I'm going to find it. Darn. Okay, well, scrap that then. I guess we'll do something else. Did you cover it up with something? Maybe I did. I probably did, or I had it. I know I had it in my hand. I just had it, and I probably put it down somewhere absent-mindedly, and now can't find it. Doo-doo-doo. What did I just do with it? Okay, scrap that then. We're gonna sew some scraps because I need more of them. I can always use strings. So I guess we'll sew some strings. Haha. Now that's gonna bug me all live. Okay, we'll sew some strings because I can't find the ruler. Under the cutting mat? Nope. Nope. Whoops. Okay, it's not here. That is so weird. Put it away. Where? Did I put it away? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I thought I had left it out. Found it. I actually put it away where it belonged. Go figure that. No wonder I couldn't find it. Okay. So we're back on track. Okay, so I know you can't really see this, but let me see if I can grab something white so you can see it a little better. Actually, let me just do this. I'll move the cutting mat so you can kind of see what the ruler looks like. So this is a template ruler from a company called Studio 180 Designs. If you know, or if you ever hear of a woman by the name of Deb Tucker, this is her company. She does have a YouTube channel in which she has tutorials about various rulers and templates that they got. And she does like brief overviews of how to use these templates. The unit that this ruler will create is this piece here, which is the star leg. And so they call it a V block, or she calls it a V block. Different people call it different things. And if you've ever used the Studio 180 Designs templated rulers, you kind of know their theory of how they operate, in which they will tell you to make the block oversized, and then you can use these template rulers to kind of trim the block down. So I figured tonight we'll do, like, you can kind of see me or watch me as I create just the star leg unit, so that if you are interested in buying one of these rulers, you know what to expect. Okay, so sorry about that. I should have actually had the ruler on hand before I had before I went live. I don't know, for some reason it ended up back where it's supposed to be. Go figure that. I thought I know I had it in my hand because it was right here before. Anyway, okay, so I am making a 4-inch finished size unit. So the block here, finished, will be 12 inches. So that means each of these individual units, or each of the squares to this, is 4 inches. So on the template itself, in order for me to get a 4-inch finished, it says cut a 5-inch strip, in which it'll tell you, or some of the rulers will tell you what size strip to cut from your fabric yardage. So it's pretty straightforward. Oops, wait, what am I doing? Wait a minute, it's supposed to go this way. Sorry, I'm a little flustered because I was like, where the heck is that ruler? That's what happens when you do stuff on live. Okay, so I am gonna cut this and straighten this out. And I got a pair of that there, so that I can use. And then I'll turn the ruler over, even though technically this is not this won't really be a good tutorial, but you can kind of get an idea as to how to use this ruler. Okay, so I'm lining up the line there, and then I need to line up the strip right there, and I will cut it. And even if the measurement is not 100%, I'm not so worried about it because, again, these are oversized pieces in which, according to the instructions, I'm going to be trimming it down anyway. So even if your cutting is not 100% accurate, don't worry about it. This way. That's the beauty of the Studio 180 Designs theory behind all of this. Even if you don't get precision piecing or precision cutting, you'll still be able to trim it down and get it to the right size, which is what I like, because as you can kind of, or if for those of you who have been following me for quite a while, you know that precision is not my middle name. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sin. She says, nice haircut. Hey, Katie. Okay, so how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 sets of 4 here. And, let's see, can I get... Can I get 4 out of this? 1. I might. That'll be the center. It goes this way. Two. Then I'll flip it back this way. Okay, I'll have 3. Do I have one more? I might have, I know I have another square or a little piece of that fabric here. I will press this real quick. And I know I can get 5 inches out of this. So I can measure this to be, cut it there, and cut it here. Okay, have to remember that I put the ruler on my ruler holder. All right. Hi, Suzanne. Hello, Miss Barbara McKinley. Is that the same as the Tri-Rex ruler? It is not. It might be, I think it might be the same angle, but it's not, because I know for a fact that the markings on the ruler will be totally different. So sorry, I know the glare is there, but there's different types of markings that's on there. Okay, so I will lay this out. And by the way, this is not, I originally thought that this was a 60-degree triangle. It's actually a little less. And one of the things that, well, even Deb Tucker warns us about this. When you put this block together, like, it's not an equal-sided triangle. So you do have to kind of be aware of where the top point is. And I've sewn a few blocks by mistake where I had it kind of flipped in the wrong side, and then I kind of wondered, hey, how come my block's not coming out correct? Well, it's because I had the pieces sewn on wrong. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my dark blue, which will become the star leg, and I'm just matching up the top point here, putting that right sides together. Now it's going to hang over at the bottom here, in which I'm not going to care about that. I just want to make sure that this top point lines up. Then I can sew this. And it would help for me to have my sewing machine turned on. Oh boy, am I just a hot mess today or tonight. And I'm going to chain stitch these. So lining up my point at the top and not really paying much attention to the point at the bottom because, well, that's going to get trimmed off. And last one. And I'm just going to sew this on. And I'm just going to finger press these back for now. These fabrics were very heavily starched, so they're kind of like paper in which even if I finger press it back, it still holds the seam, or it still holds very well. Okay, and I'll put a roller on. Ooh. Sorry, I know this is squeaky. Okay. And then I'm going to separate it because that's going to irritate me. We'll make a stack of this here, and we will do the left side. So again, I'm just going to line up the point here at the top. Now don't cut that dog ear just yet because it'll help you line up it'll help you line up your fabric. If you cut it off, then, well, guess what? You might have a more difficult time lining up the fabrics. Okay, then I'm gonna sew this one. Finger press this one back. Sounds like my knees need some oil. Okay, so I'm just lining up that fabric to the point here, or to the tip of the triangle again. And whoops, misplaced it. There we go. So here's what the unit should look like, and we're going to trim this down, but let me sew the rest of these. There we go, lining that up. And then finger pressing this back. And I will take or sew on a piece of scrap so I can take this one off. Okay, what is everybody working on tonight? Did I freeze up? Okay, nope, we're still good. I'm just gonna press this really quick so we get it nice and flat before we trim and square up these units. Okay, but you see how quick and easy the template actually makes it to make these units. So we got all 4 pretty fast. Okay. And this is where the magic of the templated ruler comes in, because now I can actually square or trim this down to the exact size that I need. Okay. So I will trim. So what I'm doing is there's these diagonal lines in which at that center point there, I can match it to the top or to the tip of the triangle here. So does anybody have Studio 180 Design rulers, or have you purchased or even heard of the company? No affiliation, by the way, so this is not a sponsored video. I just like the tools that they produce because, well, it kind of matches my style of thinking. Make it oversized and then trim it down. And some of the these rulers actually really help to make some of these awkward shapes. I wish they would come up with the circle ruler. Okay. And there we have a nice V-block. I'm working on holding my recliner down. Okay. And Suzanne Taylor is watching the World Series. Jays are winning. Ah. Well, actually, I'm happy for the Jays. I heard that, was it last night's game or some game before, went almost 18 innings, which is pretty incredible. And almost unheard of, too. Okay, then I will do the opposite side. Whoops. Did I cut it wrong? I hope not. Uh-oh. Nope, that's right. Okay, and then I'm lining up the ruler wrong. That's why. 4.5, 4.5. Okay, this one's a little short. So I must have cut something wrong, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Four inches there. Whoops. Oh, I got to redo this one because I ruler shifted. Darn it. Okay, we'll make another one of that. And squaring this up to 4.5. There, 4.5 there. Let's see. I don't get regular TV, just have a Fire Stick, no subscription channels, not watching TV. That's Kim Burris. Hey, Mona. And Christy Smith is putting on a border on a quilt. Should be making the last 5 to 7 pillowcases for her favorite little kids for Halloween. Wow. Oh, it did go to 18 innings. Wow. That's amazing. I was watching, there's some YouTubers that have commented about this particular World Series, and they were kind of going into what the significance of it really is. And I was kind of watching it. Sorry, now the cameras are going crazy. I was kind of watching what the commentators, what they were saying about it, and I didn't realize that this particular World Series, they were saying, really does represent something bigger than just the game, because it has to do with how the players' contracts and how that will get affected. So they were saying that if LA wins, the players can then something about they can request for higher salaries. Now, yeah, understand that, yeah, there is a bonus for the players when they do win World Series or the championship. But they were saying that this is kind of an unprecedented time in which now the dollar amounts are approaching or the limit to these salaries is going to go skyrocketing upward. There is a cap, a salary cap that the MLB has, but now that cap is going to go even higher or something to that extent. I forgot what exactly it was. But if the Blue Jays win, then that Caps remains where it is. So it was interesting to hear the commentary on that. Of course, don't take my word for it, or because I'm kind of paraphrasing what they were saying. Okay, I'm gonna take this unit off because this is the one that was short and this is the one that got cut funny. And we're gonna redo this particular one. I've been ripping fabric or ripping seams a lot lately. Kind of because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Isn't that always the case? Yeah, Eric, it's so political. It's crazy. Yeah, see? Yeah, I mean, whatever happened to the days where it's just about baseball, or if it's just about the game? It's all becoming kind of political, or turning into something bigger than what it really is. So, yeah, when money gets involved in a lot of things, that's when, tempers flare. People start getting a little bit more political, more, how would you say, like it becomes more important than, or it starts kind of magnifying to something bigger than it really is. I mean, I should know because, I work in the financial field and I've seen so many people, so many families, they start businesses and even best friends, they will become business partners. But once the business starts to tank, oh boy, the claws come out. Okay, so I need that one. I might as well cut another one because I'm probably going to make more. So this one is the other side. Okay, take my time and cut it, which is that one. Hopefully this will be enough. If not, we'll make it work. Okay, that still came out off. Oh, no. Turn it that way. And we'll do there. Still kind of coming out short, but I'm not going to worry about it. And of course, this has to happen when I'm on a live. I was doing so well, cutting it so accurately and sewing it so accurately. Darn. Okay, so we have all of our star legs, so let's kind of lay everything out. And let's get some of the crumbs. I'll put that one in the center. And then we'll put this one in the corner. and this one there. That one over there. And do I have a better looking one? Oh, these are not trimmed. Why are these in here? I'll put that one there. How does that look? Shelly Van Slyke says greed. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. It is all about greed. One of the seven deadlies. Yep. Is there a name pattern for this quilt? Nope, it's just something I totally made up. No pattern at all. Just using the templated ruler just to make this block. Personally, I'm praying for Jamaica. Oh, that's right. There's a hurricane on the way, isn't there? Yeah, I know that feeling. 1993. Yeah, 93. When I was still living or kind of growing up in Hawaii, we got hit with a Category 4 hurricane. So I know what that feeling is. And I am just sewing the blocks together, or sewing the units together. This one goes like that. Oh, did it already go through? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. We're talking about the hurricane in Jamaica. Okay. Yeah, I was listening to the radio this morning and they were mentioning that a hurricane was hitting Jamaica, and the radio station is based out in Hawaii. So of course people there can kind of relate to what people in Jamaica are going through. So they were kind of sending, or the radio DJ was kind of telling everyone, send prayers to Jamaica. This one goes. I'm pressing away from, so this one goes like that. That's why. This goes like this. And this is my trouble block. Okay, let's see if I can kind of make this work. So this was the top, and this is getting pressed in. This is the bottom, and we're gonna press this one out, but we gotta sew it first. So this is getting pressed outward. Oops, just lost my scrap. Okay, so Kim Burris, thank you very much for activating our hot topic for tonight. um, so the hot topic is, how many works in progress or WIPs do you have? Because this past weekend I was taking an inventory of all my crafting supplies, including quilting stuff. And I was kind of amazed with how much I do have. I didn't think I had that many, but there's actually a lot. Well, a lot by my standards. So, let's see. I have about 20 finished quilt tops that need to get that need to be quilted. I have 2 quilts that just need the binding. And if you know me, binding is not my favorite part of the process, so it's on delay. And even with a lot of the other crafting stuff that I do, I have a overabundance of supplies. So let's see, who's got the most thus far? Suzanne Taylor says she has 4. Wow. Congratulations, Suzanne. You are getting it done. Messy bun and getting stuff done. Let's see. Sandy Adger says she has 39. Wow. Okay, that's still kind of low. Kimber says 14 WIPs that I can think of. Shelly Van Slyke is asking, when making your crumb blocks, do you press your seams open? Yes, I do. I know primarily because a lot of these pieces are so tiny, like this pinwheel here. I do try and press it open when I can. Maybe that's not the best example because that one is pressed to one side. But on a lot of the blocks, yeah, I do press the seam open. This, like this teeny tiny red piece right there, I mean, that's how small some of these crumbs are. And it's not that when I, how do I say this? When I originally pieced that little red fabric, it might have been a bigger piece, but I may have trimmed it off of something or another crumb like this. So it just ended up being that small. Same thing with that yellow. I mean, that's got to be, what, 1/2 inch finished? So, but yeah, I do press the seams open, and that's just to help distribute the bulk that's in the back, because there are a lot of seams back there. Here's a good one. So like that little teeny tiny white triangle there. Yep. I even use that. Okay, so Sandy just counted the other day. Okay. Claudia says she has 2 works in progress. Kat says, I don't have a clue how many WIPs I have. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah, I know for some people, knowing that number is very scary. Kind of like when you step on a weight scale, you don't want to look, right? But you know it's there. Okay, so this was my problematic piece. And so I'm going to nest the seam and then kind of pin it. And we'll just see if we can make this work. This is the point in quilting where if it's a little bit off, you have to fudge it in. That's what I'm doing. And we'll see if the the feed dogs will help me. Pray that they do. If not, I'm not so concerned about it because, again, it is a scrap quilt. Okay. Voila. Okay, I will iron this, but there it is. Sandy says, yep, wow, I get so distracted to try another and another. You're in good company there, Sandy. Let's see. Kim says she has 19 quilt tops that need to be quilted. You know, don't tell her I told you guys this. Well, she'll probably see this video anyway, but I know last time I talked with Tiffany, she has something like 30 quilt tops that need to be quilted. So she's really behind. But she also does quilt for other people. So she always puts her customers first, which is, I mean, the right thing to do, right? And because she used to do a whole quilt top in one live session, that's how she built up that many quilts. So yeah, she stopped doing that. And she started slowing down, which was a good thing for her. So let's see. I have more than I will ever admit, says Christy. To know I have at least 20 to be long-armed. Okay. Hey, at least we're honest, right? Shelly says, I have about 4 works in progress that I can think of. It's so many in my head to do. And Barb McKinley says, I don't want to say, but I have one less tonight. Oh, yay. Christy Smith says, I love binding. Christy, if I pay you $100 and send you the quote, will you bind it for me? Because that is how much I hate binding. If I had, well, actually, I do have a serger. What am I talking about? No, so now I have no excuse to actually get these quotes done. Gloria Garris says, I have at least 6 works in progress. And Teresa says, I don't count them. I don't blame you, Teresa. Yvonne Davidson says, I seem to have lots of supplies, but never what I want when I need them. Here, here. Join the club on that one. I think I might be the president. Jeannie Wallen says, I have 18 quilt tops to be quilted. Well, that's not bad. Sandy Adger says, oh, I do finish what I call stroller quotes for my charity in town. Okay, so charity quotes sometimes can take precedent over your own personal projects, right? Because you got to get it done for the charity. So I have no problem with that. That's a good thing, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? Interesting that you call it stroller quotes, though. Claudia Lautenschlager says, I found that if I don't finish a quilt once started, I will never finish it. So I have only 2 at the present time. Both of them are for twin granddaughters. Oh, well, Claudia, you are very good. I do start projects and I do eventually finish them. It's just that for me, and maybe some of you guys might experience, or you might kind of understand this, you know, the monotony of sewing or repeating the steps over and over and over, it just kind of gets to me. So I just need to look at something different sometimes, which is why I will start a project and midway through I might put it on hold because I'm just tired of looking at it. But eventually I do get it done. Let's see. Vaughn says, I'm not counting my whips until 2026. Still have 3 quotes to make and finish in 2025. Well, you got time, Yvonne. So let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Good night, Judy. Let's see. Gianna Jewel says, I have works in progress in crochet and I have works in progress for quilting. Oh, Deanna, I can identify with that because I also have works in progress with a lot of crafting stuff too. And it's a good thing that I tried to get into crocheting. I haven't picked it up. And that might be a good thing because that's just going to add more to the to-do list. Christy Smith says, I'm not a fan of sewing crumbs, but I do have a huge amount of Tula Pink potato chip blocks. I'm going to play with this block. Okay. You know, it's okay. Personally, I believe that it is okay. If you're not a fan of crumbs, you're not a fan of crumbs, and that's perfectly fine. Some people try to force themselves to like crumbs. Personally, I like it only because, well, I just don't like to be wasteful. So, especially with the prices of fabric just going up, I want to use as much of it as I can. And I just realized the seam didn't catch there. But, you know, I know a lot of quilters who have, they don't like sewing crumbs. They don't even like doing scrap quilts, or they don't like quilts that have a lot of color in them. And that's perfectly fine. Yeah, the reason I mentioned this now is that someone did comment that I should stop doing scrap quilts because according to them, it's ugly. And you know, I said, that's your opinion on things, and it's fine that you have an opinion on that. But I enjoy making scrap quilts, to be quite honest. So, you know, I mean, that was just her opinion. So I didn't hold it to her, but, you know, people have different preferences. Not everybody likes to do EPP. Some people love it. Not everybody likes to hand sew. Some people love it. I don't. I tried it a few times actually, and I said, yep, nope, this is not for me. Some people don't like to do applique. So, yeah, you know, I kind of find that people forget that others have different preferences. And so they think that their opinion is like the law. You learn that very quickly when you're on YouTube and you just kind of put it out there. But yeah. Anyway, not to go on sorry for going on a tangent there. And sorry, I just noticed that my seam, my 1/4 inch was kind of off there. And I didn't sew a good 1/4 inch seam. So there was a big hole that I saw. There we go. Let's see. Good night, Judy. Oh, hello, Jim. He says that the block looks 3D. Does it? And Margaret Hessler says, very nice. Doesn't seem to be too difficult. It's really not. especially when you do, again, I'm not sponsored by Studio 180 Designs, but I mean, I can definitely say that having this template to make this unit here, I mean, makes it a lot easier to get a better and a lot more accurate unit for that. Now, I understand some people can kind of eyeball and just kind of lay the fabric on and just um, eyeball it, but I'm not one of those people. So having this template really does help. Maybe I only do my binding by machine. Okay, Christy. Amy Dement just put out a video on binding without folded corners. Oh, that's interesting, Barbara. I will have to ask Amy about that. Hello, Florence Carter. I always give a thumbs up, but I stay quiet. Well, thank you. But by chance, do you know the name of the light blue fabric you used in that block? Unfortunately, I do not. It was out of a scrap bin from a quilt or fabric store when I was living in Los Angeles. The selvage did not have any printed fabric information, so I am sorry that I don't know what it is. It was kind of like in the section of like clearance section where they just kind of lift like the remnants off of a bolt. So I do know though that that same line. Do I have it here? That same fabric line has different colors. So like this is a green, but it's the same exact print. There's also a pink one. Not that I know how any of this information is going to help you, but what you can do is just kind of take a picture of it with your phone or with something. Or I don't know if anybody else knows what this fabric line is. I believe it might just be something kind of a generic fabric. But sorry, I can't be of much help with that. Oh, wrong camera. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Marshall Dry Goods Tonal Vineyard is the blue fabric. Okay, thank you. I did not know that. Okay, and then same with this darker blue, if anybody's interested. It didn't have, I think it might just be maybe another Marshall Goods fabric because the selvage did not have any of the manufacturer's information on there. So sorry about that. Suzanne Taylor says, yep, she gets tired of the project or she'll get tired of the fabric. Was somebody asking about the block size? Sorry, did I miss that question? Well, just in case, yeah, this block will finish at 12 inches. So that means each of these individual squares are 4 inches finished. So thank you, Claudia, for catching that. Becky Morton, hello, hello. Look like you have lost a lot of weight. You look great. Well, thank you, Becky. It's actually because of my diabetic medication. So it's kind of suppressing my hunger. Although on the flip side, I've been a lot more fatigued and a lot more tired these days. So it's harder to get stuff done. But, I'm happy. Still breathing, still kicking. Not 6 feet under. So I should be thankful, and I am. Oh, thank you, Claudia. She says the scrap quilts are beautiful. Thank you. Um, Thank you, Sandy. She's reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. Jeannie says, I love scrap quilts. They each have their own personality. I would agree with that. It makes scrap quilts to me make things a little bit more interesting. I'll say that. And they do, to me, in my opinion, they do have their own personality. Yeah. I know surprise, surprise, for a long time I had a problem with scrap quilts because looking at all the different random colors was just kind of giving my brain like a real headache and just made me dizzy. But over time, I kind of evolved as a quilter, as a creator, and just got used to looking at scrap quilts and just kind of challenged myself to make a scrap quilt. And eventually it just started loving doing scrap quilts to the point where even today, I totally just do everything scrappy. So it's a process of evolving and evolution. The blue piece block really looks like Peaky and Spike from during Spectrum. She has rulers. She has rulers as well. I don't think she's around anymore. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Doreen Speckman. Okay. Never heard of her, but if she passed away, then that might explain why. But I know there are other companies that have rulers that make the same unit here. Again, even just to kind of put a name out there, Missouri Star, Jenny Doan has a lot of tutorials where she actually made this star or this unit, in which she is one of those people that can just eyeball it and it'll come out looking near perfect. Yeah, I'm just not one of those people, so I do need a template to get that. And Misty says, I love the secondary pattern this block gives. Yep. By the way, this was one of the first quilts that I actually long arm quilted on my own. So, and you may not be able to see the quilting, but well, maybe in these black areas you can kind of see it, but I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. Not bad for a first timer. So, how is mom doing? Suzanne Taylor is asking. So, my brother was just here in Las Vegas this past weekend. He mentioned to me that my mom, she lost 8 pounds in 1 week. So she is losing a lot of weight. And the doctors are saying she needs to gain weight. So she was already pretty skinny the last time I saw her. And for her to lose 8 pounds in 1 week, oh boy. Yeah, but other than that, she's a little bit more upbeat about stuff. I still don't know what her plan of treatment is. I know my brother said that she did go for surgery. I don't know if they were able to remove the tumors or what. So I will have to call her. She hasn't been picking up her phone, probably because she's resting. So I figure just leave her alone for now, but I will give her a call. So Jim Bennett says, I have no problem seeing Christmas to Thomas the Train to Spider-Man. Wow, Jim, that is totally scrappy then. I miss Jenny on her Friday shows. Yeah, me too. But I gotta say, Natalie and Misty are doing an exceptional job just kind of picking up where Jenny left. So, oh, thank you, Suzanne. And Jim says, I make my stars wonky. One of these days, I'll be comfortable with a wonky star. Well, actually, I should be comfortable. You would think I would be comfortable with it because I make pretty wonky blocks, even when I try to be precise about them. Okay, so that is, well, that is all for tonight. Since it didn't take me that long to do this block. Let me see. So it would go right there, but on this next round, I'm actually just going to put the blocks like that, not put it on point. But if I did, that's where it will go, or where it would go. So anyway, yeah. So that is it for tonight, guys. Wow, I think this is in record time. We actually are finishing a little early, which is, well, at least I got one block done. So again, don't forget that if you want to join us on Zoom this coming Saturday, send me an email. I will give you the information, and I will send out a reminder later tonight or early tomorrow morning, just for those of you that have signed up. Okay, and again, Mom's Quilt, yeah, information about that will be coming out very shortly. So, all right, guys. I really miss Donna Jordan. Me too. Although I will say that, what's her husband's name? Matt? He's doing a pretty good job just kind of picking up and trying to keep it going too. I know he's got the ladies helping him actually sew the quilt together. So, but yeah. All right, guys. Just want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight. That will be it for tonight. So you know what I'm gonna say, and you always know how we end the live. So let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Mwah. Bye for now. Where's the button?